Welcome to today's video. The first thing I do have to start off with is I obviously took a little break. I took about a month break from making videos. I just had a lot of things to catch up on, a lot of things to get over with and finish up, but we are now back. So the first thing I really want to start with, which is I believe my last video, which is the track. So we had a few issues on the track, one being coolant temps, second being oil temps. I'm sorry I didn't actually install them on the video, but we did actually upgrade to a full radiator, which is a Mishimoto radiator. I'm not too happy with the Mishimoto, but it was kind of perfect for me, and it was a good kind of budget thing. There's nothing wrong with it. I heard they have issues with the radiator caps popping, but I don't think I'll have an issue. The person I heard that from, I believe, had a separate issue. Ow, that hurt. The second thing I wanted to go over is the oil temp. So we did get this oil cooler from MA Performance. They hooked it up. Ran the lines and everything. I did check if it leaked, and there's no leaks as of right now. However, that brings me to my next point, which is I'm about to actually put the wheels back on and drive this to the shop, because I have one more thing to go over. I want to drain the brake fluid out of this completely. I want to flush the whole fluid and get fresh fluid in there, because I know unfortunately there was a little bit of mixture of brake fluid because we were at the track and I was a little low and I wanted to top it off. I know that's like the one thing you're not supposed to do is mix brake fluid. We're actually getting the wheels all back on, and then we're actually going to head to the shop and do the brake flush. The reason we're going to the shop is, one, Justin actually wants to work on the 240, which is getting a new engine. We'll actually go over, and Justin is actually on his way to pick up the splitter and the bumper that's over there. Just because I actually want to drive this vehicle and see if there's leaks when I get to the shop, and I don't want all that stuff back on while I do that, because that'll make it a lot harder. Besides that, everything's really good. I did use the same fan that was on the half radiator, which is right there. That should keep it cool. The other thing I did forget to mention is the wastegate. So this wastegate did crack at the track multiple places right there. I have to redo this whole thing. If you remember a while back, the video where Matt actually created this whole thing, I'm actually going to redo it, but right now we're not going to have time to do that before October 16th, which is the track day. So I'm actually going to have Matt just like fix it. We're going to weld it over. I know it's going to crack again, obviously, but it'll get me through one track day, which is all I really need, and then I'll actually rebuild the whole wastegate this winter. So that has to get done. The brake fluid has to get done, but besides that, everything's looking really good. So we're actually going to head to the track after I put these wheels on and catch up with Justin, catch up with the shop, because a lot has happened in the past month. I do apologize if I am talking a little faster. I'm kind of in a rush to get to the shop, because the reason, I forgot to mention, the reason we are going to the shop is because Justin and I actually have to go to the grocery store, because we are actually having a Cars and Coffee this Sunday, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. We did have 3 car meets prior to this Cars and Coffee we are hosting. The first one was pretty good. The second one kind of had less people. The third one didn't have many people. So we're trying something a little different with this Cars and Coffee. We're actually really excited for it. When previously on our car shows, we actually had to charge an entry fee. This one we don't. So really looking forward to that, getting everyone out there that we can and just kind of showing everyone our cars, because honestly, if you build your cars and kind of keep them to yourself, that's not very fun. I like sharing this thing, giving people rides, and it's really fun. It's a cool car. Let's put these wheels on and get to the shop. Alright, the only thing I have to do is actually check to make sure the tire doesn't hit those lines. So Justin, can you go turn the thing? It looks like we have a ton of room, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. The other thing I have to address is the mounting right here. This isn't mounted. But besides that, everything looks really good. Justin and I are actually going to head to the shop. And Justin's got the splitter and the bumper ready to go. After I actually flush all the brake fluid, then we can put all that stuff back on and be good.
And put an engine in an S13.
I told him about it. I told him about it. So before I actually installed the oil cooler, I was a little nervous on, I heard that the oil pressure drops, and if you guys watch the channel, you guys know I've been having issues with low oil pressure. Everything's completely fine, replaced the pump, everything's fine. But I was told that when you add an oil cooler, it actually drops the oil pressure. for me just idling and getting it really hot in the garage, I've noticed no issue. It's actually seems like it raised it a little bit, but I don't want to sound too cocky and be wrong. But as of right now, all good. Oil pressure did go back to in the 20s, so it's back to normal. No increase, no decrease. All right, so we just got back to the shop. We are all set with grocery shopping. We got everything ready to be good for Sunday for the cars and coffee. I am gonna start replacing the brake fluid on here. I did go with the, what is it, STR 660 Stop Tech. I've heard this from Luca. Remember Luca's video, the Blue Evo? This is what he runs, so I took his recommendation. Thought that was fine, but yeah, I'm gonna start jacking up the car, taking off all the wheels, and start bleeding out it. I think the best, I wish I had a turkey baster to, is that what it's called though? Turkey baster? Baster?
Yeah, take fluid out.
Yeah, so I wish I had a turkey baster to actually suck all this out, and then so I don't have to actually drain this through the lines and everything, but is what it is. There is a little oil leak out here. I don't think it's me, but I gotta confirm that.
Oh, no, that's not.
Besides that, I'm gonna jack it up and get started on this, and actually probably finish it, not film much because I really just want to get this car done.
Yeah,
but now with good light, you can kind of see the full radiator. How do you feel about it, Dalton?
Honestly, the first time looking at it.
First time looking at with the oil. Hey, look at the oil cooler too.
Oh. No, yeah, it looks good.
A big upgrade.
Honestly, I mean.
Do you like it better? Because honestly,
So-
I kind of like it better.
I like it better only because it does hide all this.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have a forward-facing turbo, so it's just a bunch of nonsense.
It just looks more complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a.
How do you feel about the regular Radiator Heroes now?
I don't know. I kind of like the. It was a kind of a little mini flex with the.
I know.
But it's cool.
Is
It
what
works.
it is. Yeah, it works. Justin's over here getting his car situated. So Justin actually bought a new engine. Tell me about what you're doing.
So we got SR here, SR20 DET.
You want to tell them how much you paid?
$2,500.
Pretty good deal.
Right now they're going for $6 grand online. Should fucking sell it, but it's fully built apparently. So, but
All right.
I don't know. We can find out.
So, and then he has also two KAs over here that he took out.
If you want one, you know, you can hit me up.
So, do you know what I have to do? Right now, I'm going to insert the video of us doing the burnout and then the smoke in the back. Right now. Because that's a funny moment. Which KA is that? Which KA is that?
I don't know. You might have to come find out yourself.
But yeah, so Justin's over here working on that. His goal is to actually get the clutch on trans in, and then if he can, maybe put it in.
If I can, what's that?
Do you have time tonight? Are you setting the goal of putting it in?
That would be it, yes.
All right, so you're doing it.
So hey, hold on. Are both of these cars gonna drive today?
Hopefully.
The E30's getting a draft shaft put on.
Big day for you.
Yes.
Maybe.
It is.
You want to tell him about it? Let's talk about this car because I don't think I've ever actually introduced this car to the channel. He's been messing with it for about, what? You've owned it for about 3 or 4 years?
So I've owned the car for almost 5.5 years. This build's been going on for a little over 4 years now, which is honestly a little mind-blowing.
That's how long it took me though.
When you start from scratch and you kind of switch up the whole chassis, even though a lot of people do it, I mean, you know, I mean, you didn't really do anything too crazy. I mean, you did.
I swapped an engine.
You did. But, you know, this has kind of got the whole standalone. I've never done no wiring.
Yeah,
or
full
anything
custom
like that.
harness, everything.
But yeah, this drive shaft, it's custom, two-piece obviously. It's a little bit different than the OEM one, because now we obviously have this little slip yoke and this U-joint right here, where the OEM one obviously doesn't have that. But we've been waiting on this for a very long time, so hopefully this will go in today. This obviously what I've been playing with is it's a brake line, but it's going to be my clutch line.
You're using a hard clutch line.
Yes.
Wow.
That's what the OEM ones are anyways, so.
What? So just real quick, what engine and transmission and setup is in that?
So the engine and transmission that's inside of this came out of an E36 328i, so it's an M52 B28 motor.
And turbo?
It is the Gen 2 Precision 58. But everything's done to it. Every bell and whistle that you can do to this motor is pretty much done. You know, titanium valves, dual overhead valve springs, CP Carrillo, pistons, rods. She's built. She's good. Turbo. You know, she's cute. It's a little baby, but you know, it'll be good for like 500 horsepower, which is my
Definitely
goal.
power goals.
Which is crazy, but still.
No, it's a good amount. It's a good amount. You'll be all right. So honestly, this kind of turned into a shop update. So I'm gonna start working on the Evo. Wally's Mustang, I know this has been in videos. It actually just got Willwood brakes, which is pretty awesome. Justin still has to do the rear, but this thing's kind of looking really good in the shop. I'm gonna start working on the Evo, drain the brake fluid. I shouldn't take too long. This should be pretty easy. So we actually have 8 bleeders to do because we have 2 on each caliber. So this is gonna take a bit. We already bled this whole one. It probably took about 5 minutes. So it should go quicker now that the master's, you know, empty. So I got a lot of doing this to do. I just got done bleeding all of the other wheels. I just have this one left. I've been doing this for a little bit. The fluid actually looks really good. However, I feel like it's just time to do this because I haven't done this in the 4 years I've owned the car. And I'd really like to just get fresh fluid in it. Cheapers. Oh yeah. Alright, so before we actually catch up with Justin and his car, we're actually going to take this for a ride, make sure all the brakes feel really good, because I would hate for us to all leave and go home and then my brakes don't work. So, alright, so the Evo is all done. Brakes feel phenomenal. I wasn't able to actually put the splitter and the bumper back on because I was missing 2 bolts that I left at my house, and I forgot the splitter rod, so wasn't able to do that. I will admit though, Justin got his deal done and he got his engine technically in. That's funny.
It's like so-so.
I mean,
So-so?
placed in.
An engine hoist and a trans jacket's in.
I give it to him. It's in.
Not bolted anything.
Just cut the hook, you know, cut that.
I mean, I can go down with the jack and it'll sit in there. Not correctly though.
All right, hold on, a little bit less. All right, see if you guys can push it out.
Hey, Ty, give a shot from over here. Shut back.
We're halfway there, living on prayer.
Good celebration. Justin got his engine in. Matt's stoked.
Yay, I can have my hoist back now.
How we do it.
Time to go home.
We gotta roll up.
Oh, yeah.
You can drive the